Hello, hello. Let's go. Again, first few minutes just to kind of get the sound thing situated. I'm gonna go ahead and set up my little banner. Um, hey, Salvador, for anything. Well, I started it kind of early too. I was supposed to start at 4, but then I fucked up on the setting up. Um, can you guys hear me? I just want to know that you guys can hear me so that we can get started with the actual stuff, with the actual like recap, because this was probably like one of the most satisfying boxing weekends in a while. Hi, Paolo, ¿cómo estás? Saludos, saludos a todos. Against the ropes, hey, you guys are going to be on later, and we want to talk about the fights that are going to be happening this weekend. And if you guys want to be tuned in to the fights that are going to be happening this weekend, you guys should definitely tune into Against the Ropes later on, because they do have interviews with some fighters fighting on Top Rank later on. I've been saying Whyte wasn't all that. Hey, guys, I think again, was the most satisfying weekend in a while for boxing, because bro, was that upset beautiful. Beautiful by Povetkin. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like as a fan, just as a fan, I was rooting for Povetkin. And I don't know why. Like I can't tell you why. Yeah, I saw Against the Ropes. I saw that Andy was actually just tweeting like laughing emojis. I did not see if he posted anything on Instagram. I did not see anything like that. I just saw that he puts a bunch of laughing emojis on Twitter. However, yeah, I don't know why I was rooting for Povetkin. Maybe because he's like, I have loved his fights, regardless of him losing a fight. I think he gave AJ hell of a fight and gave him a run for his money. So I was like super excited. I was thinking people were really counting him out. But then when I saw Whyte drop him once, and it was more of a flash knockdown, right? And the second one, you could tell he was a little bit more hurt, because he even like kind of did like a little rollover. He like got hit. I believe it was an uppercut, right? And he kind of like just rolled over on the ring, and that kind of was like oof. And to me, I was kind of anticipating Whyte to be knocking out Povetkin after seeing him getting dropped twice. I was honestly like, oh man, like now that he's getting dropped, it's only gonna get worse. Like he's eventually gonna get caught by something crazy. And then Lord and Savior Alexander Povetkin over here literally lands a sharp ass uppercut of his own, dropping Whyte immediately. Like he was out before hitting the canvas. And honestly, like we knew that was going to be it. Like we knew he was not gonna get up from that, like he it was out. And I love how initially Povetkin wasn't even like celebrating. He wasn't like he kind of like just looked at him and like kind of did this and then looked at him again. Let's look at it. I always get demonetized because I be sharing the screen and showing y'all, but I don't mind it because I like to look at these things with y'all. I like to see all of us get to see this shit together because it was cool. Let's see what happens here. And I'm gonna mute it. I don't think that does anything, but look at this. He's so calm. He's like waiting for Whyte to land something else. But he was waiting for him to like land something basically. But he looks so like unbothered. He just walks away, even though look at how he's in the corner. I don't know if they're gonna show him, but he's just like chilling in the corner, like look at him. He literally looks like an old person in a way that Whyte had been the WBC mandatory for so long, you guys. He had been the mandatory for so goddamn long. You know what I mean? And you gotta feel for him for that, because the WBC, we be crooks. They'd be doing some weird moves, and it was kind of strange to see it was kind of strange to definitely see how sad Eddie Hearn got over the whole thing, because you could tell like he was gutted, because let's remember that Whyte is also an Eddie Hearn fighter too, right? He's with Eddie Hearn. So it's like this ongoing pattern of Eddie Hearn bringing other guys to fight their dudes to fight his guys, and then they get dropped and they get like knocked the fuck out. They get hurt. They lose. You know, we see that so much. Is a pattern that we've seen with Eddie Hearn and his fighters. So this was no different. SB says even though Povetkin was dropped twice, he was going to the body in the early rounds, setting that shot up. If you also remember, he said post fight that he knew that Whyte, didn't really have the best defense coming forward. So that definitely was cool to see. You can also see in like how he was received in like back in his, in Russia. He got there and people were like waiting for him with like a whole, traditional dance crew or whatever it was. But it was really neat. Honestly, that was amazing. I don't know if you guys saw Anthony Joshua's reaction, but that shit was funny as hell. I'm going to try to find Anthony Joshua's reaction because that was hilarious. I don't know. Did you guys see Anthony Joshua's reaction? Like, honestly, I don't know what he would just sorry, I'm Mexican, would just not laugh. Like, maybe it would be insensitive because he's also been knocked down before, knocked out, but like not viciously like that. But I don't know if you guys saw he was trying not to laugh. He was like trying not to laugh he was just trying to like not be a dick. Hello, Freddie. ¿Cómo estás? How are you? We're having a good day. Hey, Gem G. We're talking about Povetkin and Whyte right now and how that was just unexpected. Andy Ruiz laughed that way. Yes, I saw those tweets. I definitely saw those tweets where Andy Ruiz was actually laughing, but a lot of people said that on Instagram he was also being, saying the most. Now, what do you guys say now that we saw how Whyte has been knocked out a couple of times now? Do you guys feel like Wilder could definitely beat him? I think Wilder could definitely beat Whyte and has always had the artillery to knock him out. And especially seeing this now, I feel like it makes it even more so of a fact that he could definitely knock him out. Same with Andy. I think Andy could do well against someone like Whyte. However, probably before this, now probably getting knocked out by a 40-year-old man is not a good look. I know there is a rematch clause. So I don't know if Whyte is going to take the rematch right away. I think he should. But I'm not sure. Now, I do want to show you guys the clip from Against the Ropes that they're showing. They're showing what's his name's Andy Ruiz's reaction. Sorry guys, I'm on some other shit today. So let's put the volume up. And on Against the Ropes you can hear and see.
Finally get it. You finally get the blessing.
Can you guys see that?
You know what? Somebody had something to say about this. Let me go ahead and play it for you guys, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you guys see?
Yeah, so why? Tell you the truth, I was so happy that Whyte fucking got his ass knocked the fuck out. You know why? Because he doesn't have respect for the fighters. That's what gets me pissed off. Yeah, so why? Tell you the truth, I was so happy.
So he was so happy that he got his ass got knocked out. Now, do you guys think that Andy's out of pocket for that? Because I know they were having like Twitter fingers battles between themselves and they were talking about being fat and whatnot. So I feel like Andy probably felt so fucking funny after that happened. Freddie, yeah, I think Wilder can beat him for sure. I think that'd be a good comeback for Wilder, and it could be a good comeback for both of them. If Whyte, who has been Wilder's mandatory forever, finally, comes out and does what he said he was going to do, which was defeat Wilder, that'd be a big comeback for Whyte. And if Wilder is actually the one that knocks out Whyte, then it'd be like, okay, well, he's back and he's still who he is, right? Whyte Joyce can be good since they are the zone. Yeah, I don't think they would put Joyce like that though, that fast. Let me see. Yeah. I have the Anthony Joshua reaction. I'm trying to get this. Aiden, what are you doing? Well, go watch it over there because I can hear it. Can you guys hear me? Or did I freeze? Because I'm trying to do this. Okay, it didn't freeze. Um, Sorry, I've been trying to do this. Sorry, my kid's like playing whatever the fudge, Fortnite or whatever. And the comments froze on mine. So let me go on the actual YouTube video to see them. And these just good jokes. Torta Ruiz should be ashamed of himself. Whyte be happy he didn't knock him out. I think it's more because they had like Twitter finger battles. You know what I mean? So they within themselves were trying to fight. Supposedly they were supposed to fight. I don't know why that didn't happen, but I don't. I I think it's normal for fighters to be petty. You know what I mean? Especially in times like these when a fighter talks so much, and I think this was like one of the most collectively celebrated knockout that I've seen from people, being happy about it. So let me share with you Anthony Joshua's reaction because that thing had me laughing my ass off. And this is on my Instagram. Let me. Look at his face. He looks so uncomfortable. You know when like a little kid is doing some bad shit and like you're like, oh my god, this little kid's so annoying. And then they like fall or hurt themselves for doing such annoying stuff and you just laugh because that's what you get. I feel like that's what Anthony Joshua is thinking. I love you, Aiden. That's my son. You guys should subscribe to his channel because he makes content for like skateboarding and shit. So subscribe to my son's channel if you're about that life. I love you, Aiden. But yeah, we'll talk about that for a little bit. I don't know. They just don't like me. Twitter don't like me. So I think I'm gonna make an Instagram and migrate to Instagram boxing since boxing Twitter doesn't take too kindly to me. They're always getting mad. Yeah, WBC and WBO and WBA aren't that strict when it comes to mandatories. They're having secondary belts and nonsense belts. The IBF are the strict ones. Yes, that's another thing I wanted to discuss with you guys because if you guys know that there was a rematch clause for this fight. So even though this is just like an interim belt, right? And it's like an eliminator for a bout, basically, there's a rematch clause, which is a little weird, but if we remember last weekend's fight with last weekend's fight with Rolando Romero and Mariñez, that was also supposedly had a rematch clause. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, or they're trying to get a rematch. I'm not sure. There's another clip when he's drinking and making out with a girl. Wait, who's drinking? Whyte? What's up, Aiden? Whyte was drinking, or was it Andy? I don't know what Andy's up to these days. He does look slimmer. So I do hope we do get to see a return from him, hopefully later on this year. Making out with a girl, maybe his wife. Yeah, I know he has a wife and a couple kids, but who am I? It's none of my business what they do. Another one that was a good fight this weekend on the zone as well. The undercard for this, Povetkin versus Whyte, was definitely the rematch for Katie Taylor and Delphine Pursoon. And now this fight, I enjoyed, but not as much as I did the first one. I don't know why. I think maybe because I was out on vacation. I was, at an Airbnb with my family, and I was watching the fight poolside, and I was dead ass watching the fight, but it didn't give me the same emotion that the first fight between them did. So I'm not quite sure what that was, but this time I know that exactly. I gotta agree with Against the Ropes. Taylor was really smart. You can tell she definitely had some conditioning as well. She definitely improved her conditioning. She didn't look as tired as she did in the first one, because in the first one she looked gassed, and that's why Pursoon was able to pressure her so much. And Pursoon was still pressuring her this fight around. We knew what that was going to happen, and I think Katie Taylor adjusted pretty well. From what I saw on Twitter, most people had Delphine Pursoon up. Regardless, I had to disagree. I know it was close. I don't think it was like a shutout for Katie Taylor, but though Delphine Pursuit is always going to be an aggressive fighter and she's going to be pushing you. I think that this, you know, wasn't the most effective aggressiveness. You know what I mean? Like, yes, she was coming forward. Yes, she was lunging. Yeah, I love how she like slipped. Was it the last round or one of the last rounds? She like slipped and then she just got up and started. She kept swinging. I love that about her. I think this women's boxing needs more fights like these. These ladies, you could see one that's more just pressure fighter coming forward, a bunch of stamina, like against Earl says, heart. And then you got Katie Taylor, who, is not as offensive and, such a pressure fighter, but you could tell that she has skill, that she was waiting. She was very patient trying to land those counters. My thing was, Pursoon obviously had the longer reach. She had a longer reach advantage. So I couldn't understand why she had to get so close to Katie Taylor to try to exchange. Did you guys notice that they were always like head to head? There was also several headbutts. Katie Taylor had a fucking chipote like the size of a tennis ball. I know Pursoon got it worse the first time, but this time Katie Taylor had a big ass chipoton. I know Pursoon had like a cut under her ear. Under her eye, I mean. But Katie Taylor had a big ass chipotle. Was that from like a head clash? I don't know, but it was really nice to see, and I really wish that they start doing 3-minute rounds for women's boxing. Like, I would love to see 3-minute rounds, and I don't know why. Like, why don't they just set that up? I would love to see 3-minute rounds between women's boxing. I think both the Cecilia Braeco's fight, or McCaskill fight last weekend, and then this one, we need 3-minute fights for girl fights. So I did watch the other DAZN fights, but not necessarily closely to like honestly have anything to say about them. And honestly, they're like UK guys, right? So I was not, I'm sorry, but not my thing. Elbow cuff, cough, elbow cuff. Oh, good vibes. Let's see. We also had Top Rank, right? We had Top Rank, and I love that main event. I can't say I watched a lot of the other cards because I was in the jacuzzi. I was I was at the pool, but I did get out of the pool for the main event, and I'm glad I did because, yo, Smith Jr. is no joke, dude. That guy has a record of throwing motherfuckers out the ring. Like, his resume is dudes have knocked out the ring. Well, Bernard Hopkins was worse. Like, he was out the rings, but Elena Alvarez was out the fucking ropes, and that was amazing to see. And what surprised me most about this fight is that I never in a million years would have thought that Smith, given the, given his age and given the fact that he's so far already in his career, the fact that he already improved so much, because he had some really good movement in the ring. He was not letting, Alvarez get away from him. And I know Elliot Alvarez is also on the older side. He is an older guy. His feet are not the same as they used to be when trying to evade any punches, trying to walk around the ring. But dang, Smith really did that. Like, I knew he was hurting him a lot because Elliot Alvarez had a bloody nose pretty early on in the fight, but he was landing some right hands that definitely made me feel like if he landed that on Joe Smith and Joe Smith was just reckless coming forward, then he would suffer the loss. It would be him who was suffering the loss. But this was really good in my opinion. I really want to show you guys because I loved every second of it. I love that Smith actually improved. Like I said, like, he looks like he improved so much since his last fight. And he even heard Bivol when he fought Bivol that one time. So let's see it. Bam. That was just beautiful. He was the one actually outboxing Alvarez too, which I would have never thought in a million years. This guy is a guy who works construction, or like Tim Bradley says, crunching. Tim Bradley be saying the most in these in his commentary, but he said construction, and I laughed because it's hilarious. But this guy works construction. I fucking promise you, he'll be back. Probably today he was back to work, even though he just won, which is, another. I believe this was a title eliminator as well, was it not? Or am I just tripping? Because him versus Bertabiev, I would love to see it. Obviously, Bertabiev is a fucking monster. I think he wins by knockout. But dang, I would love to see that fight because this dude can punch. Smith Jr. can punch. Maybe it's all the muscle he puts into the construction, but he can punch. And I would love to see Bertabiev, because Bertabiev has been knocked down before. Not knocked out, but he's been knocked down before. So I would love to see a fight maybe between Smith Jr. and Bertabiev and make that like a big payday for Smith Jr. because he definitely deserves it. Now, did you catch Porter versus Formella? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I had it on, but I wasn't really watching it. I know I went the distance. I'm a little surprised that it went the distance, but I'm not mad at it. The guy looked like he had a tough chin, Formella. And I know the undercard, Fandora won. Joey Spencer kept his knockout streak, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, let's go look at the PBC fight, the PBC Twitter, because honestly, like I told you guys, I was more focused on the DAZN fight and making sure I watched the co and main event. And then for Top Rank, I was definitely looking forward to watching the main event mostly. No offense. I usually, when I'm home, I watch everything, like all the cards. If you guys follow me on Instagram or Twitter, which I don't have right now, I had my desktop computer here set up with DAZN. Then I had Showtime on my big TV, and then on my laptop I had Top Rank, right? So I watch all these fights. But this weekend I was with my family. I think I said it on my last live. I was there since Thursday. We rented on Airbnb, and I was in the pool the whole fucking time. So I was not really paying attention to the fights. And this one, Porter versus Formella, I felt like I could take the privilege of not watching it because I probably felt like I wasn't missing out on much. And I know this one was for like a title eliminator too, right? Which to me was like, okay, cool. Like I know Porter's gonna win, but I know that they did go the distance. So let's go and check let's check PBC's Twitter and see what we missed out on, because honestly, you guys, that was the last card I was thinking about this weekend. So here we have Fundora, which honestly, he looks very, very creepy to me, like Slenderman creepy. Like he reminds me of Ray Vargas, but like taller with skinnier legs, and he looks like he skips leg day. And I feel like I could like sit on his thigh and he'll break in half. Like that's just what was that too much information? I don't know. That's the feeling I get when I see him. Like he looks so fragile. Like he looks like, that thing Mexicans do when you're like standing wrong and you're just standing and they come from behind you and they knee the back of your knee. I feel like if I did that to him, he would snap in half. You know what I'm talking about, right? If you're Mexican, you know what the fuck I'm talking about that Mexicans do. They'll like stand right behind you and like knee you in the back of your knee, make sure you fall. This guy will break in half, I feel like. But hey, like he's been knocking dudes out. He obviously has a reach and height advantage. Like what the heck? How can you even work against that? But people are very intrigued by Fundora, and so am I. Like it's really. I can't wait till he's in there with better competition, so we can see what's up. Here we have Joey Spencer doing what he does. He has a knockout streak, and I believe that was. Now it's another knockout. I don't know how many fights he has now. I haven't really paid attention. I know he has like a knockout streak. I know they're trying to build him up a lot right now at 160. So we'll see. Little young kid. He's like 19, right? I believe he's like 19. So look at this. It's like they show the picture and like it's his leg is like another people's fucking stomachs. That's crazy. And then let's look at Formella versus Porter. Let's look at this one. Oh, this was the 5th round, apparently. What the heck? Go. Oh. This was the 5th round. As you can see, Sean is still Sean, relentless, come forward, pressure fighter. He's not as aggressive as he used to be in the way that people would say he was dirty when he was being aggressive. I don't think he's that anymore, like headbutts and stuff, but he's still very much aggressive and come forward. And look at how it's crazy. He's like an Energizer bunny. He just doesn't stop swinging, and he comes at you. He launches at you. That's how you get headbutts, but you don't give a fuck. And obviously, this guy was very chinny, because for somebody to stand there and take all that from Porter, like from anyone, I know Porter doesn't have like the best power, but hey, now, holy poop, I just saw this. I didn't know Lara was going to be a main event. When was the last time Lara was a main event? With Lara versus Brian Castaño was his name? Or when he fought Swift? What's his name? The one that used to be 154 champion. Guys, remind me because I'm a dumb bitch. Please help me. What's his name? Swift? I know Swift. They were trying to put him with Munguia and the Charlos. What's his name? Why can't I remember right now? Why am I? He looks like that one football player because they both had like the frosted tips. Guys, Jared Hurd. Yes, thank you. Oh my God, why do I forget these fighters' names? I'm such a dumb bitch sometimes, God. But yeah, like I remember when Lara fought her. That was a really good fight. So I'm not mad that Lara's a main event, but I'm really excited for Angulo versus Caleb. It's gonna be a really good fight. I feel like that's a pretty good PBC on Fox card for everybody. I'm really excited for that. Right, this weekend is gonna be just as stacked as this past weekend. We got PBC, as we just saw, with the Lara versus, who was it? Lara versus Vendetti. That sounds like some like evil Italian last name, Vendetti, right? Doesn't it? Or am I just thinking of some dumb shit? I don't know. Yeah, so that's on PBC, but we also have Top Rank, guys. We have Top Rank. We have Ramirez versus Postol, which has been constantly rescheduled, so I'm super excited for Top Rank 2. And then, like I said earlier, some guys that are going to be on the undercard that are going to be on the Against the Ropes podcast at 7:30 p.m. live here on YouTube. Confirm that Against the Ropes, please, because I don't want to say that and then it's tomorrow. Pretty sure it's today. Albi says Lara is more action-packed fight now with his legs have slowed down. Definitely, but I also think it's him too. I definitely think he's taken more of an approach to not be as, I guess, have a more friendly style. I think he's trying to have a more fan-friendly style. He's definitely sees himself at the end of his career, and he definitely wants to make bigger fights. And the way you make bigger fights happen, and you make sure that you keep getting money at the end of your career or on your way out, basically. I'm not saying he's going to retire tomorrow, but, we know that he's already past his prime, in my opinion. Like, he's not past his prime, but we've seen the best of Lara. So I feel like now he knows that he's not going to get good fights if he is the same fighter that he's been, his career, which has worked for him amazingly because, the Cuban school, babe. So I'm mad at it, but I love the Hurd fight. The Castaño fight, I know it was a draw. I personally had Castaño up one round, but I when it's like that close, it's up for grabs, in my opinion. So I'm not mad at it. Like, I know Lara, he's going to do well, but I think the conflicting cards that we've been having lately, because we've been having the Zone, we've been having PBC and Top Rank all in one day around the same time. Luckily, the cards from the Zone that are in the UK are earlier here, so we're able to go ahead and watch the full card without having to worry about intersecting with other fight cards. So I'm really excited for Postol versus Ramirez. I think it's going to be a great fight. I know there's other undercard guys that a lot of people are looking forward to. Honestly, I haven't looked at them. Maybe we should look at them right now, but I've been hella busy and I've not been looked at who's going to be an undercard. You got your Twitter suspended? Will you be back? I do have a personal Twitter, but I don't want boxing people on it. I'm sorry. Like, boxing Twitter people have a lot of drama. Then somehow I'm always dragged in it, and then I get suspended, and I don't like that. So I'm gonna leave my last account alone with the boxing stuff. You guys can follow me on Instagram. I said that Ramirez is going to be good. Yes, I definitely agree. I'm really looking forward to that fight because Postol, this is make it or break it for him. And to have a make it or break it fight against somebody like Ramirez, that's tough. That's tough. But I feel like as long as he does well, we're very much going to enjoy it. Like I think Ramirez is eventually going to get a nice stoppage, maybe like a knockout too. But I think for the first rounds, I think Postol is definitely going to come at him, and it's definitely going to make it an interesting fight. I'm not mad at it. Maybe Andre won't duck him anymore. Andre ducked Lara. A lot of people say that, and then also a lot of people say that. Who else ducked Lara? I don't know. Everybody said Lara was ducked like all the time. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Andre just needs to do something. Like I don't care. Oh, it's this one. I don't care what he does, but he needs to do something. I feel like Andre, and this is gonna sound mean maybe, but I feel like Andre is one of those guys that if he didn't have a belt, like if he hadn't gotten a belt, because he was supposed to fight Billy Joe Saunders for it, right? He was supposed to fight Billy Joe Saunders for his belt, and that fell off because he got popped for nasal spray, and I don't know what that meant. It was a banned substance, and he got to fight a weenie for that belt. He got to fight some random weenie for that belt, and now he has a belt. And I feel like the only reason he has that type of why he's even in a conversation is because he has a belt. If he didn't have a belt, I don't think we would be having him in the conversation very much. You know what I mean? Ramirez will knock him out. At first, I thought you meant he was gonna get knocked out, but we'll see. Hey, with these upsets that have been happening lately, who knows? Oh, you're leaving, Papa?
Yeah.
Bye. No. Give it. You think you're slick?
I got my phone.
Give me my tablet. No, you think you're slick. I'll see you later. You want to say bye to everybody? I love you, okay? You can show them later. Your iPad stays here. Say bye to say bye.
Bye. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. Tell them my thing.
This is my life, guys. This is my life. Over here plugging their own shit. So I'm sorry about all that, but salute to you in the chat. Thank you so much for your super chats. I really appreciate them, especially because when we share stuff, like most of my videos get demonetized, the live ones at least. So I do appreciate the super chats. You guys are awesome sauce. Thank you, Jay Cooley. I really appreciate it. How the world feels. One is you couple on these step up fight, Bud Crawford. Oh yeah. So let's talk about Bud Crawford, because earlier in the week there was talks of Thurman and Bud Crawford actually having a fight. I think Thurman was the one that sent something over to Bud Crawford's team, and he asked, according to Crawford, he asked for 10 million, right? Because all over the internet, Thurman was like, I sent in an offer, I initiated it, and they didn't get back to me. They basically ignored me. They ducked, right? And the internet was like, what? Like, at least Twitter was like, Crawford ducked Thurman? What? And wow, Thurman sent an offer or not an offer, because he was asking for money. So he sent hey, want to do this fight type of deal. So now that Crawford retaliated, he said that he priced himself out, that he immediately asked for 10 million, which is pricing himself out in Crawford's opinion. Like, we don't got that. No one's gonna give you 10 million. Which I get it. I don't know if it's true, what side is true. If it's true that I know it's true that Thurman sent kind of like a deal to make the fight, because Bob Arum confirmed it. Bob Arum confirmed that Thurman did reach out to Crawford to try to make a fight, but he did not confirm that he'd asked for 10 million. So it's Crawford that's saying that Thurman asked for 10 million, but Aram didn't, say that himself. So we don't know the money or why, Crawford didn't take the fight. But, you think it's a duck, right? A lot of people actually on Twitter, I'm surprised, said the same thing, that it was a duck, because if you know Twitter is very pro Crawford. Twitter is also very kind of dismissive towards Thurman because he has already lost to Pacquiao. But to me, that fight was not that wide. Like, I think they both had their shining moments. I don't think it's that big of a deal to lose to someone like fucking Pacquiao. So I don't know if Thurman actually asked for 10 million, but the least you could do is send something back. Like, okay, we won't give you 10 million, but negotiate. Basically, that's how you make fights at the end of the day, by negotiating. So instead of Crawford saying something like, oh, well, you asked for 10 million, you're pressing yourself out, you actually don't want to fight, I'd be like, okay, well, 10 million is too much, but how about this much? Because let's remember, and this is where it's going to get, in my opinion, kind of weird, is that they gave Amir Khan 5 million, right? So if Amir Khan got 5 million to fight Crawford, then Thurman should get a little bit more than that. Like, I know right now things are crazy because of the coronavirus. There's no purse, there's no gate, I mean. So I know the money side is weird. We had that with, we had that going on with Lopez versus Lomachenko, the whole money thing. But hey, if Top Rank Bob Arum gave Amir Khan 5 million to face Crawford on pay-per-view, what makes them think that Thurman, who was the longest reigning champion at 147, who was unified, who has had previous pay-per-view fights, who does pretty good numbers when he fights, doesn't deserve a little bit more than that? Maybe let's say 7, right? 8. Negotiate. Like, I think I can't say it's a duck because I don't know the truth of what went behind the whole, is it true that he asked for 10 million or not? But yes, negotiate. Like, you guys have to negotiate. That's how you make fights. And the fact that Thurman actually put that motion out there, it's like when you're playing chess and you move your first piece and it's kind of like, okay, your move type shit. And for the fact that Crawford was immediately like, no, you asked for too much. So then negotiate, like let's try to reach a middle point. And I hope that fight does happen, because who else is Crawford going to fight? I think maybe he's going to fight Kell Brook, chocolate brownies. And he's going to use that to basically do a measuring stick type of fight. And he's going to try to get Kell Brook out of there faster than, let's say, Errol Spence did. You know what I mean? Because Errol Spence went to war with Kell Brook. I believe it was in the 11th round that he, got his that he was able to get Kell Brook to take another knee and just end the fight. He had a broken eye socket, another one. So I think that's what the route that they're gonna take. I think Crawford's probably gonna go with the Kell Brook fight and try to get Kell Brook out of there faster than Errol Spence, just to be like, haha, look at me, I did better, and so that his fans could also be like, haha, look at this, Crawford got him out of there quicker. However, I feel like the Kell Brook that Errol Spence beat was way more dangerous than the Kell Brook that is now, because we know now he's had both of his eyes broken, like both his eye sockets broken. He's been through it, so I don't know. I agree. I think he should definitely fight. And at this point, I think he should be like, you know what? It's not coming out of my motherfucking pockets. Because it's not, right? Like, it's not like they're like, hey, Crawford, give me 10 million so I could pay, Thurman. In the contrary, if I was Crawford, I'd be like, hey, please, I'm trying to fight the guys that are at the top of my division. And, the first time a guy from PBC is actually, showing interest in trying to fight me, Aram, can you please try to make this happen? Give him, maybe we don't have 10 million. No, that's fucking ridiculous. But offer him the same we did Amir Khan. Offer him 5. See what he says. Right? I feel like if you're Crawford, you should have the sense of urgency, in my opinion, to fight other fighters. And I know the whole PBC shit is annoying. I know you guys, like, it's annoying. It's, a shit show. But he should be able to be like, Bob Arum, you work for me. Like, please, like, I'm trying to make a big fight happen. Pay-per-view again, but not with American. Like, please, like, let's do this. Like, offer him. Like, let's try to make this fight happen instead of just being dismissive right away, which is honestly not the business. So, oh, dang, I'm way behind in the comments. So let's go. Let's see. Okay. Keith Thurman went on injured list as soon as Spencer got a belt. I don't think that's the thing. Okay. I know how these sounds, Crawford can fight anyone he wants. Of course he can. Of course he can. And he's been fighting who he wants. I just wish he wanted to fight somebody on the PBC side. I'm pretty sure he does. But the whole promotion shit is bullshit. But if a fighter's showing interest in fighting you, then take it, and I guess if it's a bluff, if you're like, oh, he's asking for too much, but then you counter with a reasonable offer and you say, hey, well, we try to give him 8 or like 5, let's say we try to give him the same as Americana, and then now Thurman looks like the duck, right? Then you would be able to argue that Thurman just sent that to bluff, right? But if he's just like, well, you're asking for too much, no, bye, then it leaves fans like, wait a minute, like, can y'all negotiate? And if they negotiate and they see that, hey, they offered him the same or a little bit more than they did Amir Khan, so maybe and then Thurman doesn't take it, then people have the right to be like, Thurman, come on, just take it, right? Like, I just feel like, yes, he can fight anybody who he wants, and he's been, so he needs to fight Keith. Kell is washed. Kell Brook has been through it. I feel like Kell Brook and Amir Khan have become the new, like, Victor Ortiz and Bam Bam Rios. Like, I don't really care for them fighting others. I just want them to fight each other. Like, when Bam Bam fights, I'm like, cool, I'm going to still watch it. When Victor Ortiz has been not fighting for a while since, he got in jail again. But it's like, they fighting, you're like, I want them to fight each other. Bam Bam versus, Victor Ortiz. Same with Kell Brook and Amir Khan. It's like, when they fight somebody else, I'm like, they're going to get knocked out, or it's going to be like a weird cherry pick. But I want them to fight each other. That's it. Like, I don't mind. Kell isn't washed, but he's damaged goods. Yeah, he has. That's got to be tough to get 2 broken eye sockets. The text is out. He asked for $10 million. Okay. He asked for $10 million. Hopefully they negotiate, right? Like, let's hope that they negotiate. Pamper. I wouldn't say that. I like Bud. I like Bud Crawford. I like them both. I like Bud and I like Errol Spence. I honestly like them both. I just want to see the fight happen, That's why when Estaka Brook went up weight division. Yeah, that was dumb in my opinion. That was dumb as fuck, and that was dumb as fuck in Kell Brook's side. Like, why would you do that? What does that prove? Like, I'm gonna go on this kind of small side rant because Triple G always judged Canelo for doing like this dumb shit. He always called him a businessman. And don't get me wrong, Canelo fighting American was stupid as fuck. Like, I was mad as fuck that fight even got made. Like, I remember waking up that day and I saw that and I'm like, is it April Fool's? Like, that's gotta be a joke, right? But then Triple G goes and does the same thing. Like, he fights a guy that's coming up who we know is not gonna get a fair shot. And I have to disagree with you in there because yes, Triple G fucked Kell Brook up pretty good, but I think he was still not damaged goods. I feel like after Spence, then he was really damaged. Crawford wants Errol Spence. I hope so, and I hope that happens too. I would love to see it. Crawford, now let me get another drink. Spence are both scary. Did you guys see that video with Spence on his horse or trying to get on the horse? That was so wholesome. Spence walked up with an enemy and told him that he personally wanted to fight next, and Thurman tucked his tail. Yeah, they should negotiate. Let's hope like that. I just hope they negotiate. You guys, please. Like, Triple G. Look, you guys are going to be mad. This is my phone case. A friend gave it to me for my birthday. He's a casual, and he gave me. I'm mad at it. I love Triple G. But that's what he gave me for my birthday. But hey, let's hope that this fight actually gets made because I want to see Crawford against somebody that is at his caliber. You know what I mean? Like, that's what makes a good fight. And I have no doubt in my mind that he can definitely win. Crawford can definitely beat Thurman. He can definitely beat anybody at PBC, but the guys at PBC could also beat him. You know, there's a chance that they could definitely beat him. These are the fights that are basically up for grabs and that they make the fandom go crazy. You know, it's like Triple G and Canelo. Like, people fucking hate Canelo and people fucking hate Triple G. And when you mix those two together, it's so fucking powerful. I feel like same with Crawford and Spence. Crawford has a lot of fanboys and fangirls, fan people. And Spence does as well. Like, people love Spence and people hate him. So, like, imagine if that fight gets made. I feel like people are going to fight in the arena if there's people there. And if there's not, people are still going to fight online on Twitter fingers because people really dislike both of them and they really love both of them. Now, Brook versus Khan don't want... Yeah, I feel like Khan just... I think Amir Khan right now is more preoccupied with making just big fights. You know what I mean? Like, he knows that the speed that he has is the factor that always gives him that, like, 1% chance that, they're just not going to adjust to his speed and he's going to be victorious. But honestly, when you watch an American card, you just watch because you know he's going to get knocked the fuck out. And he didn't get knocked out by top ranks Crawford because he quit. Let's be honest here. I don't know if you guys are going to be mad at me for that one, but Amir Khan straight up quit. He said that Crawford hit him in the balls. Okay, maybe he did. Take your 5 minutes and go back, my dude. Because he straight up just, like, wasn't with it. And then he blamed Virgil Hunter, talking about, he stopped the fight. Like, no, you did. Like, you didn't want to go out there anymore. And I feel like he definitely robbed Crawford the joy of knocking him out. And because that shit was a pay-per-view, right? I was in Mexico. See, Ivan says he did quit. He did quit. I was in Mexico, I remember. I don't remember, does that fight in April? I think it was in April, right? I was in Mexico, and over there boxing is free. You just need to have Box Azteca. So we had free boxing, and it was free for us. We didn't have to pay pay-per-view, but I knew it was pay-per-view here. So imagine being like, okay, well, I'm going to pay for this. Even the people that stream, whatever. But imagine like, okay, the people that pay, I'm going to pay for this. And, you know, because even if it's like a weird fight, at least we get to see American get knocked the fuck out, right? But he robbed us of that by quitting. He straight up quit. And I feel like he did that. And this was my personal opinion as to why he did. I left a White Claw in the freezer. And I can't get up because I'm not wearing pants. Oh my God. It's going to explode. Okay. Forget it. What was I saying? Oh my God. That completely like just popped in my mind and I forgot. Oh my God. What was I saying? I was such a fucking idiot. What was I saying? I was saying that Amir Khan did that because you know, in every other fight, the Danny Garcia one, the Canelo one, you can make a case for Amir Khan winning before the knockout. You know, I mean, he got knocked out by Danny Garcia in like the third round, right? But he was doing pretty fucking well. He was doing really well, and then he was doing really well. He was doing really well against Canelo. I feel like he was up on the scorecards. He wasn't, which is stupid because, you know, that's just fucking Vegas. But he was doing very well against Canelo, and he was outboxing them before he got knocked out. He didn't have that same experience this time with Crawford because Crawford was giving him, you know, a hard time. Crawford was outboxing him. He couldn't say that. He couldn't say, oh, well, you know, yes, Crawford knocked me out, but at least I was outboxing him at first because he was, you know, Crawford was in total control the entire time. So I feel like this time he was like, I'm just going to end it here. You know what I mean? But needs to leave Top Rank. Better if he just joins PBC. He had to admit it, though. See, it shouldn't be that way, though. It honestly shouldn't be that way. It should be fighters to just fight whoever the fuck they want to fight. And it makes you wonder when that's the case and when it's not. Because look at Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz was with Top Rank and then he moved over to PBC and he got much, I mean, he had his golden ticket going to PBC because Top Rank put him in like Fresno cards, under cards that no one gave a fuck about. When Scott Quigg fought Valdez here at the StubHub, Andy Ruiz was in like the first bouts when nobody was here yet. The media was there, but rarely anyone was there. So Top Rank was not treating Andy right. They were like not giving a fuck about him. As soon as he moved to PBC, you know, he started getting good fights. He even got the Joshua fight, right? But that's what I'm talking about. They made that, you know, Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz, when that fight happened, you know, they're like, oh, well, you know, Andy is from PBC or whatever. But Andy was like, no, I want that fight. No, I want that fight. No, I want that fight. And he was bugging everyone, including me. I have a fucking screenshot of when Andy messaged me. And he's like, hey, can you please like post this? Because I'm trying to get the fight with Eddie Hearns. Like Eddie Hearns. I'm messaging Eddie Hearns and I really want to fight Joshua. He's like, I have a fight coming up, but I want to fight right after. And he was making it happen. You know what I mean? He made that happen. So it makes you wonder, you know, same with Wilder and Fury. Okay. Fury, that rematch wasn't immediate because Fury went to Top Rank, right? And when that happened, we're all like, oh, well, there goes the fucking rematch. But it happened. And it was because these fighters wanted it to happen. And this third fight looks like it's going to happen because they want it to happen. You know what I mean? So at what point do we stop blaming promotional companies and we start blaming the fighters? Because Andy Ruiz made sure that fight happened with Joshua, even though they're not the same promotion. Wilder and Fury made sure their fight happened, even though they're not in the same promotion. I feel like it should be up to the fighters to be like, hey, if I have a promoter, they work for me, and I'm going to ask them to fucking make this fight happen, or at least do well by me and, you know, send a nice offer, a decent offer to where I don't look like a fool, to where I look like I at least wanted some part of this. You know what I mean? So shit, I don't know about all that. It's crazy. Again, I'm sorry about that sudden realization that I left the freaking White Claw in the freezer. I put it in the freezer because I was like, I'm going to put in the freezer for 10 minutes and I'm going to come and set this up and then I'm going to go get it and I'm going to go live. But then I was just, I forgot. Yep, and Fury smashed him. I know. Dude, I imagine if Wilder was like, okay, promotional issues, like, he went to Top Rank, then I'm obviously not going to fight him, like, whatever. Like, he's with Top Rank, now I'm not fighting him. He probably will still be champion. Like, let's be honest. Hello, Rob. ¿Cómo estás? So, again, we need to see when you blame promotion or how long or to what extent are you going to blame the whole promotional company bullshit, you know, because it sucks. It's real. It's a thing. Like, fights don't get made for this, that, and money. Because let's move on. A guy that we had live here with us not too long ago, Jesse Magdaleno, right? Jesse Magdaleno was bidding. There was a bidding to fight Navarrete for the WBO title that Shakur Stevenson left behind, right? And you know, the WBO, for some reason, they just favor Top Rank. Let's be honest. Like, most WBO fighters, I mean, champions are from Top Rank, right? Don't know why that is. Don't know the whole thing behind that, but that's just the case. So, you know, it's weird that belt that Shakur Stevenson left behind at 126 was going to be fought by the guy who immediately moved up, which is Navarrete, right? Who moved up to 126, also Top Rank, and Jesse Magdaleno, who was already ranked by the WBO because he was a former champ at 122 for WBO before getting knocked the fuck out by Isaac Dogbe. So they were supposed to fight, and then a story by Boxing Scene, I believe, came out saying that Jesse Magdaleno just didn't return any of the negotiation papers. Like I guess he just did chose not to respond. So now Navarrete fighting somebody else. Oh, he's fighting Ruben Villa. That shit's gonna be lit. So I'm gonna tell you guys right now. You guys, if you guys don't know who Ruben Villa is, you guys should fucking look him up. I guess I should say whitewashed. Ruben Villa. Ruben Villa? I don't know. Ruben, just like I spell fucking Ruben. Ruben Villa. 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 That kid, undefeated. He's fights on Showbox. He's from a really local boxing promotion here called Thompson Boxing. Ruben Villa, real deal. You guys should check him out. And I'm stoked that he's going against Navarrete because Navarrete hits hard and he's older and this kid is younger. But I'm still looking forward to the fight. Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked again. But yeah, now that's who Navarrete is fighting, Ruben Villa. But he was supposed to fight Jesse Magdaleno, but Jesse Magdaleno just didn't. The article said he just didn't respond to any of the negotiations, right? But Jesse came actually out on Instagram to say, no, I didn't. That's not true. Like they're making it seem like I ducked when I didn't. And he said that it's because they didn't offer him enough money. They said that the money wasn't right. He said, the money wasn't right. I'm not gonna take even if it's for a title. Like I'm not gonna fight for crumbs, basically. And with Jesse being my friend, I get it because that's a dangerous fight. And honestly, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to him, but I feel like he would have gotten stopped. I feel like Jesse had the fact that he got stopped before by a smaller fighter in Dog Bay would not do great against Navarrete, who definitely hits harder, and especially probably moving up now 126. He has more, he has more. He's more comfortable in being at that weight and having more power at that weight. So when Jesse was talking about that fight, I'm like, ugh. Like I told my friends, I'm like, I don't like that. I'm like, I don't like that. You're my friend, and I gotta tell you, I don't like that. Like I feel like he's gonna get stopped, and I feel like okay, he's gonna want money if he knows that there's a high risk. I'm pretty sure he thinks he can win, and I'm pretty sure he's very confident in his abilities because he is a southpaw. So I do feel like I'm not saying Jesse isn't talented. I'm not saying Jesse doesn't have power. I've seen Jesse do a lot, especially in the boxing gyms. He was probably one of the ones that knocked dudes out the most in sparring. But Navarrete is a whole different animal, and Navarrete has the higher advantage in reach. He's just a monster, and Jesse's a smaller dude. And honestly, I just felt like that wasn't it. So that's another thing. Like, he claims it wasn't enough money, which I feel like they didn't offer him enough. I respect that, but that's also a smart decision. Like I don't know. Why did I say that? I don't know. What are you guys talking about? Fury and Wilder both thought they were cherry picking each other. No, Fury says after, he's like, oh, we're both the top two heavyweights. He says that all the time. Well, I'll tell you. Oh, I know. Yo, let's talk about that. Thank you for bringing that up, J8. It's crazy what's happening right now, not only with Canelo and Golden Boy, but now with Canelo and DAZN and Golden Boy and DAZN. Like this whole, I'm going to call it an entanglement, because Golden Boy seemed to only work with DAZN because they started working with Canelo, because Canelo got the huge contract, but they were trying to not pay him as much anymore because of the coronavirus situation. And because, let's be honest, DAZN doesn't seem to be doing too well in the way that they price their fighters high. Like they, paid their fighters a lot of money to join DAZN, to join the DAZN stable. And then they didn't make their money back probably as quick as they thought they would. And you could tell right now they're kind of in shambles. So the fact that, the mandatory is now, I don't know how to pronounce that. How do you guys pronounce that? Does anybody want to come live with me? Let me know if you want to come live with me, and then we could both be together. You can show me how to pronounce all this shit, because I usually, when I do writing or I do videos that are not live, I do look up stuff, and I'm like, oh, let me see how to pronounce this, because I'm not trying to be a bitch, and I hate when people mispronounce my name, so I don't like doing it to others. I don't know how to pronounce that. But I saw that he was now the mandatory because of the WBC, stripping Benavides. Now, what I want to talk about this too is that people always say stuff against Canelo. Like, people really dislike that guy. And I don't blame them for not liking Canelo. But, like, sometimes y'all gotta chill. Like, it's just, sometimes you could just, I don't know. Now, people are bashing Canelo, saying stuff like, well, Canelo wasn't trying to fight for the WBC title when Benavides had it. Like, Benavides had the title and you didn't see Canelo trying to fight for it. But I don't think Canelo has much of a, like, saying this. I don't think Canelo would have wanted to fight for that until now. And I think it's more the WBC trying to throw Canelo like a, I want to make you happy bone. Because if you know boxing and you know the relationship between Canelo and the WBC, it has not been smooth. Canelo and the WBC have been beefing before. They have not liked each other. That's why they promoted him to, like, franchise or whatever the fuck. Because, one, they want those sanctioning fees. Two, like, they want Canelo, the highest paid dude in boxing, to be in good terms with them after having beef for so long. So I feel like when they took the belt from Benavides because of the overweight, they're kind of like, oh, let's throw this at Canelo so that he's happy with us, and then so that we can take these motherfucking sanctioning fees from Canelo. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Canelo was like, as soon as Benavides lost the belt, was like, WBC, I need that belt. WBC, like, please, like, who's next? Who's the other guy that's gonna be fighting me? I need that belt. I don't think that was what happened. I think the WBC was like, how about we give this belt to our cash cow, the guy that we can make a lot of money off sanctioning fees, and the guy that we want to keep happy because we want to keep profiting off him. I think that's what happened. But it's crazy how DAZN's like, no. DAZN's like, that's not going to make us any money. You fighting this motherfucker is not going to make us any money. Fight Triple G, because that's why we got Triple G into the stable, so you guys can fight, and it hasn't happened yet. So it's crazy. I don't know what's happening there, but now he's saying that Canelo might fight on PBC. Who knows? Yeah, see? I mean, because it would make sense, right? And I feel like at this point, Canelo's very well off. And let's say he breaks out of the contract or whatever. He's going to make money regardless. Like, this motherfucker's going to make money if he goes back to Showtime, if he goes back to pay-per-view. He's going to make money. Oh, sorry. I'm, like, way behind on the comments. But I just feel like that's what am I, like, super behind on the comments? But thank you. Yes, smash the likes because I be doing the most. Where does Canelo could fight on PBC Showtime because the zone won't allow? Yeah, like, I feel, and I'm telling you, I feel like at this point Canelo's like, fuck you guys. Like, I don't care if you guys don't pay me the rest of the money that you guys owe me for the rest of the fight that I'm supposed to fight with y'all. I just won't fight with y'all, and I'll make that same money elsewhere. And let's be honest, like, Canelo has the power here, I'll go live. Do you guys want to go live with me? Give me your, how would I send you, like, a private chat? Let's see if I can send you, I don't know how. How would I, like, send you a private chat? I'm really new to technology, so I'm not sure how this works. But let me try. Xicana Miguel said it's sad because you haven't been on Twitter. I have Miguel on my personal account. He just likes to make fun of me. Let's go back to the Englishman dealing funky chicken. Funky chicken? Can someone tell me why that is, funky chicken? Eddie did bet everything on dealing. You know what sucks? Eddie Hearn looked pretty upset about that. Let me see if I can send you a private message. Do you follow me on Instagram? Follow me on Instagram so I can send you a link. Yeah, what does funky chicken mean? ¿Si te bañaste hoy? Think so. They screwed over David. I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. David screwed himself over, and I have to admit that I was sad about it. And also, I feel like he shouldn't expect the WBC to just be like, okay, don't worry about it. You'll fight the next guy over for the same belt, because they already did that with him. This was the second time, So I feel like the WBC was kind of like, especially Canelo being there, they're going to give it to Canelo because they want those sanctioning fees. they want the sanctioning fees from Canelo. One, two, they want to keep that dude happy. Like, they want to keep on good terms with him. I don't think he had much to do with David. I think with David, it was just like, like, I don't think you should, like, it wouldn't look good on. I mean, the WBC already doesn't ever look good, but I feel like they'd be like, oh, wouldn't look good on us for a third time to, well, I guess second time to give David a pass and be like, hey, maybe a second I lost for it once. Oh shit, I'm about to go see that, because if he did, then that does say something. But remember, there was some dumb. I hate when Mexicans say that they won't fight other Mexicans. Like, why? Russians say that shit too. When I interviewed Pivot when he was going to fight that Dominican kid, I told him, I'm like, oh, hey, like, what about fighting Kovalev? You know, like, Kovalev is main events. You're not with main events, but you fight under their cards. Like, why don't you fight him? And he's like, I don't want to fight other Russians. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, the whole fucking division is Russians. Mexicans say that a lot. Like, a lot of Mexicans are like, oh, I don't want to fight another Mexican. And then Russians say that too. Like, that's annoying to me. I have to disagree with you on that. He should be made way quarantine. Yeah, I agree with that. I have to agree with that. Like, I don't think they were like, oh, fuck you, David. Like, I feel like they're like, no, work your way up again, I guess. Which I'm pretty sure he will do just fine. Like, he will, maybe by next year, he'll already be fighting for the championship belt. Like, let's be honest. Soul Snatcher got his soul snatched. Let's go. Have you spoken to Robando Romero? He messaged me on Instagram, but only to, like, react to one of my posts. But no, I haven't. No, I haven't talked to him. I know he was live yesterday, and this is what bothered me, okay? He was live yesterday, and he has, like, we all have a friend. I mean, maybe not a friend of mine. It's a friend of his, but an acquaintance to me, and it's a really cool dude. Like, he's a really cool dude. I like the guy. He's really nice. But he was, like, basically blowing smoke up Rolly's ass, and he's like, oh, you're world champion, ha ha ha. Robert Garcia's trying to make it seem like you're on something, and you're still a champion no matter what. And it's like, it made me very uncomfortable, because I get it. You build relationships with fighters, right? Like, you become friends. I have some friends fighters, but just like I told you guys about the Jesse thing, where Jesse is my friend. Like, I would like to think he's my friend. I would tell him, like, hey, like, that fight, you might get knocked out. Or if a fight happens that he didn't really, I'd be like, hey, like, you didn't look that, like, shit like that. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, like, take on Navarrete and fuck him up. Like, that, what kind of, no. And this guy is, like, literally telling Rolly, he's like, oh yeah, you beat that guy. People think that, just moving is going to go ahead and win you a belt. And I'm just like, I know you guys are friends, but please, like, don't do that. Like, you don't be a cheerleader. You know what I mean? Don't be a cheerleader for guys just because they're your friends, or worse, if they just gave you an interview one time and, like, you want to, like, kiss their ass forever. Like, think about it. Alexander traveled not only to England, but to literally the bully's backyard. Eddie Hearn's bully got knocked out. I'm telling y'all, Eddie Hearn has that luck, though. Like, all the fighters he's been bringing in to come in and fight his fighters doesn't go well for them, right? Let me go see if I have the link to give this. What happened to your Twitter? Again, Twitter don't like me. Twitter keep I don't have a message from you. Twitter keeps they don't like me. They keep suspending me. So, oh no, I don't think I have. Okay. How would I do this? I don't have a YouTube. I mean, I have a Facebook. Look me up just by my name, Lily Ulloa. Damn, that's a hard thing to spell. We'll figure this out. Don't worry. We'll figure this out for the next time. Funky Chicken is referring to his footwork. He's very methodical and plots forward. And when Povetkin come and you see him do the herky jerky. I love you guys' words. I don't think Canelo's, but if you saw what you need to. I don't know. I don't think Canelo's afraid. I don't think Canelo's afraid of anybody. But Benavides is the truth, like T says. So I feel like he might not, like, if out of everybody, he might want to pick somebody else. But also, I'm not sure because the whole Mexican thing. Like, why do you guys care if he's Mexican? I don't know. Seems like conflict of interest. Who knows? What? You can go live on Snapchat? I didn't know that. I have not been on Snapchat since they did the update and I didn't like it. What do you think about the Porter fight? I was not watching it like super closely. I was just like kind of having it on in the background as I was in the pool. I'm surprised the guy went the distance. I could tell the guy had like a super chin. Was this for the WBC belt also? This was for like an eliminator, right? So what? He's gonna fight the fighter of Porter versus Garcia, which would be a rematch either way, right? Right? Was this a WBC eliminator? Let me check. It was, right? I don't know. Was it? Can you guys tell me? Because I'm dumb. Guys, I really want to get up and get my thing. Would you guys mind if I like turn off the screen while I went to get that because I'm in my underwear? It says welterweight world title eliminator, but it doesn't say which one. Oh, WBC. Okay, WBC. See, that's the part that I'm like, man, this sucks because it would be a rematch. Should Spence or Garcia win, Porter already fought both of them, so just fight Crawford, Spence. Like, come on. No, Funky Chicken is friend to when he got KO'd by Joshua. Well, Joshua got hurt by Povetkin too, did he not? Povetkin turned to a Shang Tsung and look at the ticket white. So, no, it says WBC. Look, I'll share my screen with y'all. Let me share my screen with you guys. It was for the... See, it says welterweight world title eliminator right here. And then right here it says takes on Sebastian Formella in a WBC welterweight title eliminator. So basically, they're gonna fight the winner of Spence versus Garcia, and it's like, why? That makes no sense. Like, oh, it's both. Oh, so yeah, the fight, the winner of Garcia versus who do you guys got? Garcia. I feel like I'll make like a prediction video coming up closer. I know it's gonna be like November something, right? But just if we're gonna. I said he was a punchback. Can somebody please point to where I said that? Oh, IBF on the Twitter it only said WBC. They all laughed about us saying us for both of his belts. Well, a lot of people feel like he beat Spence. I thought Rolly was the real deal, especially after seeing him beat Garcia twice in mine, but he lost that fight. So, yeah. And the thing that I don't like is that people are like, "Oh, you guys are just being haters," and like, it's not being haters. It's just not siding with what you think happens. What? WBC silver? So it's not even the real thing? Who wins, Swift, Garcia, or Spence? I gotta give it to Spence. Povetkin is old. Hello. Hey, but he still did that, right? Crawford gotta get in the mix. He has to, my dude. He has to. Ryan Garcia wasn't sparring Rolly series like that was. What I heard at the time, and at the time we were closer to Ryan's team because Ryan's manager was the owner of the gym that we were always going to. They said that Rolly's was like over the weight. Like he wasn't 130 or 135. He was like, and he does. Like I know Rolly's has told me personally. He gets, he goes up high. And he posts it on his story all the time. He's like, oh, I'm walking around at like 140, 145, or something like that. So it's no secret that he is at a heavier. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, you guys, sparring is so much different because you got to know that sparring, when you spar somebody else, you might be working on certain things, certain days. And that's the thing that I noticed at the gyms, right? At going from gym to gym and watching sparring, I noticed that guys have a separate, a different goal each day. One day they're like, okay, well, like, just focus on your right hand and try to just, land this specific punch. And then sparring is not like, oh, let's fight and let's try to like fuck each other up. Like you see in most sparrings of like these up and comers that think that it's cool to like post them knocking out some rando. Like they're both fighters are working on certain things that they're trying to perfect to execute on their fights. It's not that they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna go and fight them and see who's the best. They're each working on something, right? One fighter might be like, okay, well, I'm gonna try to just, try to cut off the ring and go to only body, or I'm gonna try to set up this specific combination, right? Like sparring is like that, from what I've seen personally. Go to jam, like different, like okay, and then you're there, you hear the corners when they're talking to them in between sparring rounds, and they tell them, okay, now do this, now try this, to adjust to the style or just to keep doing whatever they're going to be working on. It's not just like, two randoms, like let's see who wins in a sparring. Like, no, that's not how it usually works, but I can see why people think that. Sparring is different. Like you could be like, oh, this sparring is Stop saying Povetkin as a whole. He just turned back 2 days again. Or PEDs. They got the WC Tampa, but it's an eliminator for IBF. Oh, see, you guys know more than I do. That card I didn't even know was happening until like not too long ago. I didn't know that fight was even happening, so I didn't even know. Guarantee fucking smash anybody in this chat, including me too. Like he would knock us all out at the same time, probably just with one like the Hulk. If you watch Ryan sparring Rolly, constantly stop Rolly coming in with a power jab. Honestly, I only watched the highlights. I didn't watch the whole thing. Let's call spade a spade. It was billed as a winter fight. Winner Fury and Wilder was their rematch clause. Eddie made up that Fly Alexander. Yeah, I didn't know about all that. I think it's gonna be good. I haven't seen anybody whoop Danny yet. I like Danny Garcia, but I feel like we've seen the best of him already. I had Sean up until Arrow scored the knockdown. I know. A lot of people, when I was at the arena that day, most people were just surprised about the fact that Sean was dictating the pace for the most part. Sean was nonstop as usual, like relentless, but he wasn't like just like a weirdo coming up and trying to do the most. Like he was very, very calculated in his approach. So we were very, very impressed that at some points it even felt like he didn't have like a response. That Spence was just sitting there. He didn't have a response. So that was interesting. Errol, let me get another drink special. B Garcia. You guys go hard on Errol, man, for that. I mean, I don't blame you guys. You shouldn't drink and drive. You really shouldn't. Like that's dangerous, and it's good that no one was hurt. It's crazy though. Like it's crazy how not wearing a seatbelt saved his life, because he was like catapulted out of the freaking. He was catapulted out of the car, and because he was like drunk and probably all lumpy and shit, like it wasn't like he tensed up or like he probably could have. It would have been worse if he was not drunk and wearing a seatbelt. Delfimo Lopez said Rolly's tapping his elbows during sparring. It does it on purpose. Well, Delfimo Lopez actually caught some heat too from boxing Twitter, because he messaged or he tweeted like, oh, congratulations to Rolly, and people were like, really, bro? And I think a girl that I really like on Twitter, Nika, she actually tweeted him and was like, how would you like it if you won almost every round against Lomachenko, but he got the decision and then people were congratulating him? Like, how would you feel? Obviously, he didn't respond, but he shouldn't have done that. Errol will stop Garcia. I would like to see it. Honestly. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. Because, like you said, Garcia has never been stopped before, and I don't know if Spence is going to be the first one to do it. But if he is, I wouldn't mind it. I don't know, because people will always throw this argument out there. You ready? Spence couldn't even knock out Mikey Garcia, right? And we will never know if he just didn't want to, if he just saw it as like a sparring session, if he just wanted to get like, I don't know, because Mayweather says, I don't get paid by the minute, I don't get paid by the hour. Like, you don't get paid I think Wilder said this too. Like, you don't get paid with, based on how many rounds you do. You already got paid, so you try to end it as fast as you can without being dumb, right? So I don't know why Errol Spence didn't knock out Mikey Garcia. Maybe Mikey just has that good of a chin. Maybe he just didn't want to knock him out. Who knows? What up, Junior? So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. But basically, let's see what's gonna happen this weekend for sure, because I dead ass only know of the Top Rank and the PBC card. But I know that there's gonna be some fights in Mexico because Against the Ropes is going. Against the Ropes podcast is actually going to cover the fights in Rosarito. I might tag along with them. And it's it's a papas and beer that I never been to. But yeah. Oh, let's see. I got more comments. Sorry. I didn't even see these comments coming all freaking late. Oh, he wanted to tell Mikey he's one much of a Mexican. Oh, Lord. You can tell by the way EJ fought, he didn't go after the way he normally does. Yeah, I didn't see any sense of urgency at all. Like, he had no sense of urgency in stopping Mikey or even hurting him, in my opinion. Garcia was literally almost moments after being stopped by Peterson. Well, yeah, I remember that. Peterson, that's another guy that I felt like he was such a good B-level guy to put against fighters to test them. I feel like Virgil Ortiz should fight Peterson because Peterson is that bitch. Like, he is not just some step over dude that he's gonna let you bully him and he's just there to be knocked out and he's just there for you to look good. Like, Peterson will test you, and he's done that with a bunch of fighters. So wasn't Peterson supposed to fight Lipinets and it didn't happen? Why didn't it happen? Somebody remind me. I kind of remember that, right? Peterson retired. Oh shit, that's why? I didn't know that. Is that why he didn't fight Lipinets? Or he did fight Lipinets? Guys, I used to drink a lot when I used to watch fights. Oh, most of the shit I don't remember. Did he fight Lipinets? He did, right? And Lipinets won. Can you guys please help a bitch out here? Because I remember being really excited for that fight. I remember being really, really excited for Lipinets against Peterson. But I think I remember that falling off. Oh shit. Was that a pay-per-view fight weekend? Because I must have been really fucking drunk. I remember being really excited about that fight. I remember being oh yeah, I was super excited. And then I get drunk after the fights. I don't get drunk at the fights. I don't get drunk. I get after the fights. Unless we're watching at my house, then I get drunk. But if I'm covering a fight, I'll be cool. I'll finish my shit up, go to the bar, and get knocked the fuck out drinking. So I don't remember. Honestly. Peterson Big Garcia, really? I know a lot of people do think that it was at least a draw. So that was a really good one. You guys, I love you guys because you guys always put me in my place. I love it. You guys always remind me of good shit that I forgot because I was drunk as fuck. I didn't know Peterson retired. That sucks. I liked his fights. Whenever he was gonna be in a fight, I knew it was gonna be a good ass fight just because it was his fight. It was good. Yeah, that's why a reason I don't know if I want to go because the whole coronavirus thing. I've been pretty good about quarantining. Like I said, I went out because I got an Airbnb and it was just me and my family who I live with. Well, me and my kids. So I don't know if I want to go. I don't know what the deal is. Also, I don't want to go out there and then we can't watch the fights because it's Mexico and there's no way to watch the fights. So I don't know. I'll see if I can't go, but I want to kind of. I love that you guys are so active. Thank you guys for your comments. I love when you guys are always on here with your comments because it gives me a reason to talk, because me by myself just here talking to myself would not be fun. So I do really appreciate that. I appreciate that you guys tell me when I ask you guys stuff because I forget. Sean, hey Sean. I I forget. I forget stuff, you know, like, so I really appreciate you guys reminding me, keeping me in my place. Like, seriously, Lippy Peterson BK on the 10th round. I feel like now after this, I'm gonna probably like put it on my computer and watch it because I don't remember that. Like, I don't. What was that undercard for? I remember it was a big fight. Errol Spence stop Peterson. Maybe he can stop Garcia. I would love to see it. Do you get, I forgot the part like dealing Whyte? Not that bad. No, not that bad. I can walk myself out. So not that bad. He retired in the ring. That's how bad he got beat. Jesus, why don't I remember this? I almost can somebody, let's look up on BoxRec what that was an undercard for, because I must have, the minute I know what that was an undercard for, I'll be like, okay, that makes sense. Let's see. That was, wait, what was that, the main event? That was the main event, wasn't it? What's wrong with me, y'all? Can someone tell me what's wrong with me? Am I on crack? You're right about Peters. He had been hit too much. Yeah, that's true. Especially at 147. When he was like, yeah, 147 is tough. With Amir Khan, that was a good fight too. Gotta get Whyte drunk at the club. Is that what we're calling it now? The White Claw's in my freaking fridge, but I can't get up because I'm not wearing pants. I don't wear pants in my apartment. I don't pay rent to be wearing clothes in my apartment. But if I get up to go get it, you guys are going to see my underwear. And they're not even cute underwear. Like, they're not like, oh, she's wearing hot underwear. They're like regular underwear. So I'll be looking like a fucking grandma. I know, it is going to explode, though. Why should I wait for his turn for the belt? That's the thing, though. He was waiting for such a long time. And I know collectively, like, boxing fans are really excited about Whyte losing. But you got to feel for the guy. You got to feel for the guy because he waited a long-ass time as mandatory. 1,000 days. Weren't they talking like 1,000 days, something like that? And somebody very meanly on Twitter was like, you know, because Eddie Hearn posted something like, oh, I'm gutted. Like, this sucks. Like, I know Whyte will bounce back. You know, I believe in him, blah, blah, blah. And somebody responded, F you, Eddie Hearn. Tell him to wait another 1,000 days. And I'm like, yo, like, y'all are so ruthless as fans. Y'all really be mean. You know what I mean? Talk Charlo versus Derevyanchenko. Chris, that's honestly the fight that I'm looking forward to the most this quarantine schedule. You know, like, I'm looking forward to both those Charlo fights. Both Charlo versus Banana and Charlo versus Derevyanchenko. I feel like these are the fights that are probably the biggest fight in their career right now. Like, I think it's fucking awesome. I would love to see Charlo, you know, have a decisive victory. However, Derevyanchenko is a dog, you know, like, a lot of people get mad. I think I said this shit in the last live. People get mad that Derevyanchenko got another chance at the belt or whatever. But it's like, he deserves that. Like, Derevyanchenko gives everybody a good fucking fight. None of his fights have been like, oh, he lost like super decisively, because when Jacobs beat him for the IBF, when Jacobs beat him for the IBF that they stripped Triple G of, that was a majority decision. I didn't watch all that fight because I was watching the fucking Dodger game and they lost, stupid Dodgers. God damn it. They choke every October. Anyway, sorry, I hate the Dodgers sometimes. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I wasn't really paying attention to that fight, but I know it was pretty close, right? And when he fought Triple G for that same IBF title, a lot of people feel like that Derevyanchenko beat Triple G. So I think Derevyanchenko could give Charlo a run for his money, but he does have that style that he does come forward. You know, he's from Ukraine and he does have those sweet Ukrainian angles. He just doesn't have him as polished as the rest of the Ukraine guys. He's from the Ukraine, right? Or is he also from? I'm pretty sure he's from the Ukraine. But anyway, I love that fight. I'm super excited. Do you think Charlo drops Derevyanchenko? Probably, because Derevyanchenko's not one guy that doesn't fall. Like, he just doesn't stay down. because Jacobs dropped Derevyachenko, and that was the deciding factor for their fight because it was a majority decision. Triple G dropped Derevyachenko, and he didn't stay down. Now, can Charlo drop him? Do I think probably? Yeah, but Derevyachenko doesn't stay down. Like, he doesn't be like, okay. No, he's like, oh, you dropped me? Okay, bet. Like, he is on it. Lipinets Animal Champ, good old. I love Lipinets, man, and I love to follow him on Twitter. Like, he's very real on Twitter. I don't need to see it either. I wouldn't mind it because I can see why people want it. People are like, hey, both those fights were close, no matter how you judge them. They're both close, and they both kind of like they're 24 amazing rounds, right? But if Canelo has all these options, I'd rather Canelo fight anybody else, like a 168 or 160. However, if he's fighting this WBC mandatory now that Benavides is, doesn't have the belt, then I kind of would like to see Triple G instead. Depends, I guess. I'll be alright if that one doesn't happen. What doesn't have a rematch clause though? He does have a rematch clause because I feel like he knew. I feel like they knew though, especially Eddie Hearn. Like, they knew what the fuck was going on. We won't look. Lipinets, but yeah, that would be a great fight, especially because Mikey Garcia also already fought Lipinets. So I feel like, that would be good. Damn, I'm way behind in the comments. It's the British fans, media, and retired boxers that make me root so hard against cats like what? Bro, I think a lot of people can say that. I don't mind the British fans, but sometimes they do be delusional. No offense to anybody here that's British. Like, I love that you guys are so, like, passionate about the sport, but, like, some guys like, oh, Whyte would destroy Wilder anyway. I'm like, I don't think you can say that after this. Like, I don't think you should be saying that after this. Like, I don't just shut your mouth. It still works, Lola. All due respect. Wait, I'm confused. He beat Triple G. Yeah, a lot of people felt like he beat Triple G, even though Triple G dropped him. I'm really excited for the Charlos. I feel like this is like a really good deal for them, and it's a great name in their resume because people always have that. People that don't like the Charlos, I really like them. Say shit like that, like, oh, who have they fought? These two names, definitely good ass fucking names. So I guess we have a consensus here that we all feel like Derevyachenko beat Triple G. All right. Charlo loses. Ooh! I'm telling you guys, we should find a way to, like, bet. Remember what we talked about that in the last one? Like, I don't know how we should do it because I don't want you guys to think I'm scamming you. But we could, like, all put, like, make, like, a Venmo. And we can all send, like, $10 to the Venmo. And we could do, like, rounds. Like, when people do, like, parties. And you could, like, all pick a round. And we could do, like, an internet generator type of thing. Or even here on the live, we could, like, pick them out of a hat so you guys know I'm not cheating. And then whoever wins gets the money, right? Since we can't have, like, real parties. My apartment's kind of small. My kids were eating marshmallows. But my apartment's kind of small, so. I mean, if there's ever fights that I'm not covering and they're here, they're anywhere, I mean, you guys can come over to my house and we can watch it. Rosario versus Charlo. Yeah, Banana versus Charlo. I can't wait to see it. Charlo got robbed to Triple G. Wait, I'm confused. Robbed how? They haven't fought. Derevyachenko got robbed. Oh, Derevyachenko. Yes. A lot of people feel that way. Charlo never fought Triple G. Yes. Virgil Ortiz versus Lipinets with Schmack. I have Derevyachenko over Charlo. Charlo's last two fights haven't been as good as you would want him to showcase himself. Yeah, well, a lot of people feel like Korobov beat Charlo. Remember that? You guys remember that? He was supposed to fight Willie Monroe Jr., but then that fight fell off because where that fight fell off? Oh, because he got caught with, like, banned substances. You know that snack. He's a snack fighter, and he got caught with banned substances. So that's why he fought Korobov instead with, like, a week's notice or something like that. And Korobov gave Charlo a run for his money. Now, can you guys remind me who Charlo fought after that? What was his last fight? Who Charlo fight last? I know the little Charlo fought Williams. Who did the older Charlo fight? Can you guys be my box rec? Please. I just forget. Like, there's so many boxers here, there. Like, I forget. Like, I'm sorry. Canelo won't fight a great fighter. He cherry picks. Really? Because his resume is pretty fucking good. But whatever you say, you are very valid to your opinion. Vargas was getting Virgil to the body. He can't do that. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was noticing. And I don't know if it was like Virgil not really respecting Vargas's power, but even then, you can't take that type of luxury to let people punch you in the body like that, because it wears you out in the later rounds, you know. And I mean, Virgil hasn't really gone to this was the latest he had gone, but still, he beat the fighter Triple G and Charlo the boxer. He beat Triple G. Rosario versus Charles, another lit one too. I feel like all these fights, like when PBC rolled out with this like these fights, I was very excited. I feel like Canelo would not be the fighter he is today had he not lost to Floyd Mayweather. Let's be honest here. Let's go for undisputed if AJ gets past. Remember that after? Did you guys see Bob Arum's tweets after Whyte? He's like, oh, Whyte was chasing the WBC belt only to get knocked the fuck out or something like that. Did you guys that? Bob Arum has no fucking filter. He was saying shit like that. He was like, oh, you know, he was chasing it only to get knocked out. And then he's like, oh, that's what Pulev is going to do to AJ. All these London bridges are burning or crap. Like something like that. I'm like, I don't know about all that, Bob Arum. I don't know about all that. Because he's like, oh, you know, same thing Pulev is going to do to Joshua. Given the fact that Joshua's been knocked not like out, but like stopped by Andy, shit, you would never know these days. Vargas was hurting him too much, but he wasn't hurting him, but you can't take that luxury with their fighters. Charlo proved himself when he beat Tony Harrison for his belt back. Yeah, and he was emotional that remember that those press conferences? He was so mad. Like the Charlos talked their shit. He knew but Povetkin was his man. They know Eddie Hearn was pulling strings in his backyard. Well, I mean, Eddie, regardless of what Eddie Hearn was trying to do, Povetkin had other plans. Vargas, yeah, he had no power. Let's see. I'm also taking Jason Rosario with Charlo too. So we think, well, I don't know, say wing, but do y'all think that both the Charlos lose that night? Because remember when they both fought when Charlo lost the first time, little Charlo. A lot of people thought he won, like he got robbed. And then when the other Charlo, big Charlo, fought in the main event, they thought he lost. So they thought the wrong Charlo lost that night. And that was kind of weird. But then this one, I feel like a lot of people feel like both Charlos are going to lose. Or this is the time that they have both biggest probability to lose. So if they win, it's going to be that much more awesome, you know, to them and to their fans. Wilder would have and will destroy Dillian Whyte. Too easy to get hit with Big Shot, and Wilder has a bigger. Yeah. I mean, people want to give Wilder shit for losing to Fury, but he's still who he is, and he still got that equalizer. So, if you watch the fight on the zone, they did not mention anything about. Yeah, they do that a lot. I don't like that. Like fighters, I get that you are a commentator for a certain promotional company or a certain network or a certain streaming site, but you know you can say nice things about the other fighter. That's the visiting fighter. You are allowed. You should be allowed to say. I'm pretty sure they're allowed. They shouldn't make it that fucking obvious that they're just like rooting for the house fighter. I don't want to because you guys are mean to me on Twitter. You guys are mean to me I have my own Twitter, but it's more of a personal one. And you guys are mean to me on the boxing Twitter side. You guys are mean to me, so I don't know. You guys are kind of rude. Great chat. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate you guys. You guys make the chat awesome because you guys are the ones making the conversation. You know what I mean? Virgil got some get back. He hit him with the same shot. Vargas had a crazy chin too. Virgil versus Boots at 54. Wait, who's Boots? Boots? What Boots? Hogan? Man, Hogan's one of those guys that I'm always feel bad for because Hogan got, you're right. He went up to fight Charlo for the belt, but he did, right? He went up to fight for that belt. But it's like, it sucks because he should have already been champion, at least for a little bit, because he beat Munguia. Hogan beat Munguia fair and square and wide, in my opinion. But because that fight happened in Monterrey, Mexico, there's no way that they were gonna give it to Hogan in Mexico, right? So I feel bad for Hogan because Hogan should have been champion. At least for a little bit, at least once, at least just to hold the belt and then to keep it as house for like a little, reminder. But damn, you guys, I'm so behind in the comments. I'm so sorry I talk so much. But yes, Hogan. So I feel bad because Hogan just went up in weight when he should have just been champ at 154, at least for a little bit, because I'm pretty sure he would have lost against somebody else. But hey, I want to see good fights. If you see Canelo say he's the best. I feel like Canelo's only cupcake recently has been fielding. That was a cupcake. Acid test for real Charlo, but you guys, when you guys type Carlo, like, I get confused. But you know who calls him Carlo? ESPN, Spanish ESPN, like Mexican ESPN calls him Carlo, el Carlo. That's what they call him. So does Juan Manuel Marquez. Juan Manuel Marquez calls Charlos Carlo. I'll keep you in check. He's always mad. Pulev ain't about to go nothing. I think Joshua knocks out Pulev pretty quickly too. Maybe one of Bob Arum's grandkids got his account. That's what whenever Crawford tweets anything, people are like, "Oh, that's Letitia. That's Letitia Crawford." Because you know how they said that his sister actually ran his account? That would have been that. So anytime he says anything, like, "Okay, Letitia." Remember they said the same thing about Andy Ruiz. Anybody knew about him would know whoever is crying out. I'm confused. I consider both the Charlos 50-50 fights, considering what their last two fights were respectively coming away with. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm excited for these Charlo fights because those fights are the, biggest test in their career so far. And they're the fights that are like the ones that they have the most probability of losing so far, right, in their career. But that only makes it that much cooler and sweeter for them if they do win. You know what I mean? Because yes, these fights is like they have a chance of losing. Pretty good chance. But if they win, it'll be like, yo, like, see, the Charlos are the real fucking. Oh, Ennis, yeah. I didn't know that was what they call them. Yeah, I think they won't do that one yet because they're both Golden Boy, right? They're both Golden Boy. I like Ennis. He's a sharp ass kid, bro. He has more fights than Virgil too, if I'm not mistaken. Who looks fighting club fighters? Ooh, we got some shade right here. I like Boots. I didn't know that's what I didn't know that was his middle name or what they called him. I just knew Ennis. I know him by Ennis. People always on Twitter too. Ennis. I have this weird ass like hair. Ennis, right? Could happen to both Charlos. Ennis. Okay, so then I'm confused. I'm confusion then. See, you guys, give me more information because I need to. I know Ennis is black, right? Ennis is the black guy that fights and has the little cornrows, and he's like really good, and he has like 20-something fights, right? Right? I think so, because I like that kid, and I think that's who you guys are talking about. But then I'm not sure anymore because all I do is be dumb and play Animal Crossing. A ver. Tell me if that's who I'm talking about. But let's see. Why am I so white on here? Let me take this back. Holy poop. Why did you guys tell me I look so white? My lighting is kind of off today. Always, but they should have told me I look so white. And this fight's on Showtime. I think I know who you guys are talking about. But I thought I knew who I was talking about. Okay. Oh, you know who fights this weekend too? Jeff Horn. Guys, Jeff Horn fights. Miguel, fuck you, okay? But it's Ennis is the guy with the braids, right? With the cornrows? Or is that Ellis? I am confusion. Miguel, can you come on live? Miguel's Jeff Horn's biggest fan. Ellis is the guy with braids. See, I got them both motherfuckers confused. I got them both confused. Because I thought Ennis was the one with the braids. Why they gotta have similar names that start with E and end with S? This guy says Jeff Horn stinks. That's rude. He makes funny ass. He's funny though. It's funny to see him lose because he robbed Pacquiao, and that's not okay. Miguel loves Jeff Horn. He has Jeff Horn pajamas. He acts like he loves Thurman, but he actually loves Jeff Horn. And he was sad when Crawford beat Jeff Horn. Yeah, so Jeff Horn's fighting on Wednesday. 10 rounds, junior middleweights, and that's in Australia. What time would that be here? Like midnight? And it's got a low top. You know what? I'm doing this. I'm going to pull them both up. Okay. Yeah. A simple Google search would have. Okay. That makes sense. I know who you guys are talking about now. I always thought they were both like, I use them interchangeably, I guess you can say. I use both of them very much interchangeably. I learn something every day. You guys taught me something. Oh, 3 a.m. I don't know I'm usually awake at that time, so I'll probably watch it. But I don't know if I'm not up, I'm not going to make sure I go out of my way to be up by it. And obviously, August 29th, Las Vegas, ESPN Plus, Jose Ramirez versus Victor Postol. And I'm really excited for that. WCWBO. I think Postol gets wrecked in the later rounds. And Laura's going to be mad. Because if you follow Laura on Twitter, she loves Postol. She's one of his biggest fans. So I'm going to have her on, just like when Wilder got knocked out, I'm going to have her on close watch. No, more like Ortiz getting all the attention to people who are mad and isn't getting at the same attention hating on Virgil. Yeah, I noticed that. But I think Ennis has fought more people. So Ennis has more of a, right? Ennis has fought more people, right? Arnold Barbosa Jr. versus Tony Luis. Anthony Chavez. Oh, Chris Zavala. Chris Zavala. Okay, I know who that is. Why is he? Oh, that's going to be a good fight. And Gabriel Murataya. That kid, that's the guy. Gabriel Murataya is the kindergarten teacher. You know the kindergarten teacher who knocked out that dude in the bubble, in the ESPN bubble? And people were super excited for it because he's literally a fucking teacher. And they were just excited that a fucking kindergarten teacher knocked the dude out. That guy is going to be on Against the Ropes right now at 7:30. So I'm going to get off in 10, 15 minutes because I've been here for an hour. 2 hours, I mean. So, okay. 10 more minutes, I'm going to be getting off because, guys, I talk too much. But if you guys should, and I'm going to, at 7:30, Against the Ropes is going to have Murataya, I think, in their show tonight at 7:30, which is live. And that kid is fighting on Saturday against, let's see, Justice Bland, 4 rounds. And I think that's the kindergarten teacher. And then we also have, what else do we got this weekend? They don't show the PBC card. What the heck? Is that not this weekend? Oops. My bad, y'all. Initially, I told you guys that the Lara fight was this weekend, but it's not. It's not. So, my bad. I need to get my story straight. I need to get my facts straight. Who's with Robert Garcia? And as far as Nate and his mama in the punching bag, it's a joke. Only he ready. You guys are mean. You guys are mean on here. Virgil is with Robert Garcia. Lara, it doesn't show on the ESPN thing. Where is he fighting? I thought it was this weekend. I was like literally telling y'all that. And then now I looked and it doesn't. It just says Las Vegas. Look, I'm going to show y'all, okay? I'm going to show you guys so you guys don't think I'm lying to you. I know, but it's the schedule. Like they have a schedule. Let me show you. That's the Jeff Horn. Can you guys see that? It's too small. Let me make it bigger. How do I? Let's make the shit big. It says Jeff Horn. This one's in England. Then they have Telemundo, but it doesn't say anything. Then they have the Las Vegas one. And then London. Oh, they have a London card. Sonny Edwards. Oh, it's right there. Oh my God, what? Why am I dumb, you guys? I feel like I just come on here and make myself look stupid as fuck. And he's $9 versus Greg Vendetti, Alfredo Angulo. Oh my God, that's for the IPF Eliminator? Hey, Angulo looked really good in his last fight, remember? We did not expect that. But yo, why would I be dumb? Why do you guys let me come on here and be stupid? I'm like, yeah, he's fighting this weekend. And they're like, wait, no, I don't see it on the schedule. Oh, wait, yes, there it is. I'd be dumb, bro. You guys I just look stupid on here. So okay, my bad. I'm so dumb. PBC is slow with news. No, it's because I was looking at this. I saw PBC banner and I posted it earlier on the live. And then later I was like, oh, let's look at the schedule. And then I look at the schedule right now and I thought I didn't see it on it, but it was literally right there. The fighter who's a teacher, is he with... Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. But I guess I can go on against the ropes later and find out. Let me actually look up. I'm pretty sure that's who they're interviewing. But I don't want to give you guys still like information that is not it. Because you guys know that I've been slacking right now. I've been saying the most dumb shit. Okay, so they're going to be... Yeah, tune in at 7:30 against the Rose Podcast. Oh, both of them. The brothers, Murataya brothers. They also just got done with an interview with Meriñez. They had Meriñez in their podcast. So you guys should definitely look that up. That's a video podcast too. So they had Meriñez on there. I think yesterday or the day for yesterday. And then today they're gonna have the Murataya brothers, those brothers that are teachers, or I think one of them. They are? Why did I not know that? Hold up. You know what, guys? I think it's time for me to go to sleep because I'm like looking here and I'm just like, I had no clue. Oh no, wait, they did. They were, because remember that's when they were saying that Robert popped positive for COVID, and he's been popping positive for COVID. Remember, the whole time he wasn't able to be in anybody's corner because he had been tested positive for COVID, and then now we're wondering if he's going to be in the corner of Ramirez because he's been testing for positive for COVID this whole time. Just last week he wasn't able to be in the corner because he was positive for COVID, or maybe he's not positive, but he keeps testing positive. He wasn't for Franco's corner. He wasn't there for Franco's corner. He hasn't been there for anybody's corner, really, because he wasn't there for Virgil either, because he keeps popping positive for COVID. He wasn't in Jackson Meriñez's corner either. Meriñez is with Robert Garcia. and he hasn't been able to be there for him because of COVID. And now we don't know if he's going to be able to be in. I mean, he better be in Ramirez's corner, right? Because he's too loud. I love that though. I love being able to hear him, like especially right now that there's no fans, that you could hear him yelling shit to them. And I love how a lot of times, to a lot of the ones, a lot of the guys, he talked to them in Spanish. Yeah, remember he's like, "Oh, don't do that to me. Don't do that." So I mean, who knows? That's true. You're right. You're right. He was only there for Franco. You're right. And then after that, he was COVID. Because he was telling, like, he was looking at one of the judges. I didn't know he was specifically talking to Moretti, but he was like, do the right thing. Like, don't do that. Come on. So, shit, they're probably going to rob his ass. I know. Now, I don't know if I know people want him to go to 147, and I know because he's top rank, and of course, Crawford is itching for good opponents that are not PBC. They might make Jose Ramirez, not make him, but I feel like once Ramirez goes to 147, Crawford's going to be the guy that he faces. You know what I mean? I don't think immediately. Like, I don't think he's going to pull a Mikey Garcia and, like, take the best dude at 147 moving up. But I feel like Jose Ramirez, they're probably, once he moves up, are going to try to set him up with Crawford. But who knows, man, right now. I'm thinking of doing some sort of, like, video before the fights. And then maybe going live again on Monday, next Monday, to talk about the fights. But if not Monday, we could do Sunday to just let me know. Follow me on Instagram at Billy Ho Saunders. But I think I say this in every live. I have like 200 fucking how do you call it? Requests. I have 200 requests. Y'all see that? You can't see it. 205 requests. If you're trying to add me on Instagram, because it is private, message me and say, hey, it's so-and-so from the live. And I'll be like, okay, cool, and I'll add you. But don't just add me and not say anything, because then I'm not going to approve you. Okay? Follow me on Instagram. I can't make another Twitter because they're going to know it's me and, like, suspend me, I feel like. Twitter doesn't like people who, like, get suspended to make other accounts. I have an account, but I don't think I want the boxing stuff right there, because boxing Twitter is, like, really weird. They can't just, like, have different opinions and live with it. Like, people get, like, super weird and rowdy about it. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about the weekend fights, which one you're looking forward to the most. I think I like to see El Perrangulo. I know that's kind of weird, but I like El Perrangulo. I like to see him fight. He's slow as hell sometimes, most of the time now. But I was impressed with this fight last time. Like, I wasn't expecting him to win that last fight. It was pretty good. So I'm pretty excited for that one. Obviously, Ramirez versus Posto, I just want to see it. I want to get some beers and, like, super just sit down on my couch and, like, watch the fights with a White Claw. No, honestly, I don't even drink White Claws. I think it's not even a White Claw. It's a Truly. But this weekend that we were at Airbnb, my mom gave me those. Like, she gave me some Trulies and some White Claws because I usually drink beer, and I drink, like, big beer. So I can't, like, be drinking beer in a pool, like, with my kids around. Like, that's not a good parenting situation. So she's like, just drink some of these. They don't taste like anything, and they don't. So that's why I go, and I'm like, I'm going to pop one open. I'm going to sit down and do the live, but it's literally in my fucking fridge, and it'll probably pop by now. Ulises, thank you so much for the super sticker. Y'all are so nice to me all the time. And I do appreciate, again, the super stickers and the super chats, because most of these live chats often go unmonetized. They get demonetized. Unmonetized. What a dumb bitch. They get demonetized because I show you guys, like, fights and stuff, and they don't like that. They're like, no, like, copyright, right? So they always fuck with my money like that. So I really do appreciate you guys super chats and super stickers. You guys are super nice. We should watch a fight. Should we put, like, should we do a live while the Top Rankers card is on, and see, like, hopefully they don't like copyright me right away. Like, we don't even have to be showing the screen, and we could all be like talking about what we think of the fight. Do you guys want to try that? Because if you guys want to try that, we'll do it this weekend. I'll put the live. I'll go live on my laptops, and I'll put it on that table that my kids use to do bullshit on. I'll sit on the couch. We'll put the laptop, and I'll put the TV on, and we'll watch the fights together. And we'll all be reacting to it as we watch. But a lot of people like they watch fights through like the same thing that they watch YouTube on. So I don't know if you guys would do that. So I don't know if you guys would want to do that. Like, would you guys want to do that? Oh, Alex, you're so nice. I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you guys and your super chats. You guys are so nice to me. But anyway, I'm going to post it, I guess not on Instagram because you guys don't follow me on there. I'm going to post it on here, on the community. If you guys want to do that with this weekend, we all watch a fight together and we put it on. And like, as long as it doesn't get copyrighted, we'll do it. Like, I'm down to do it, and we can all watch it together. And maybe follow me on Instagram so that if you guys want to do it, we can also all do like a bunch of, I think here you can invite like 6 people. So if you guys want to be on it with me, let me know. Shoot me a message. I know some of you guys don't got Instagram though. Shoot me a message. I don't know. Put something in, like, I think you guys can also comment on the post that I put on here. So let's do it. Let's do a live on Saturday for the fights, and hope that we don't get copyrighted immediately because you can hear the sound, right? Let's do it. Or maybe, yeah, let's do it. Let's try it. So I'll see you guys on Saturday. I'll post more I guess details on the Instagram and on here as well. So yeah, so the YouTube's, yeah, so I'll put it in the community here. Oh, you guys are so nice. You guys are nice. Yeah, I'll put it on here in the community, and then I'll put, like, if anybody wants to join the chat, let me know so that I can give you a link so that we can all be watching at the same time. All right, guys, I'm gonna go because it's been 2 fucking hours here, so I'm sorry. We've been here for so long, and I do appreciate your super chats. You guys are all super nice. I appreciate you guys, your conversation, and all the times that you guys put me in my place when I say the wrong stuff, because you guys keep me humbled when I say something that's not true and I didn't even know. Or when I'm too drunk to remember certain things that you're like, know that this happened. I'm like, oh, wow, apparently. So you guys have a good week. We'll see you guys on Saturday. If any boxing related news come up, we'll go ahead and make a video about it. All right, so I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Follow me on Instagram, but send me a message.